Good morning, evening, or afternoon, whenever you may be listening. Welcome back to the Dear John podcast. I'm your host, John Moody, podcasting out of a walk-in closet somewhere in Atwater Village, California. Thanks for coming back, y'all. This will be the last podcast for 2018. All right. Don't know if y'all got New Year's plans or anything like that. As of now, I don't have any, and that's kind of cool with me. Not sure if I'm going to end up kicking back at home or not sure. But anyway, before we get into the letters, let's give you a little something about what's been going on with me. You know, one thing I never do, or I've never really done, is like try to hook up my friends. You know, I have a lot of female friends and of course a lot of male friends. And a lot of times I get, well, man, how come, you know, if you ain't talking to such and such, how come you won't hook a brother up or why, you know? And I just don't. Maybe because I'm a bit of a control freak and, you know, I want things to go a certain way. And if they don't, I feel responsible. And also, too, like a lot of the fellas I know, and they're otherwise good dudes. But, I mean, you know, if you know the intentions aren't like, you know, pure, you know, why am I going to hook you up with somebody, you know, unless I know y'all both just trying to hit it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know some cats that are looking for relationships, and I know some women that are looking for relationships, but I figure y'all do that on your own time because I don't want anything coming back on me like, well, what you hook me up with such and such for? So I just never do it. And I recently had like that kind of situation happen, and it reminds me why I never do it because, you know, my boy didn't really, you know, he wasn't really cool. Let's put it like that. And I guess it all depends on how you look at dating, how you look at people of the opposite sex. You know, I mean, for some cats, like women, their only value is, you know, whether, you know, you can hit it or not. And there's not much more value beyond that. And yeah, I gotta admit, you know, I have some cats like that are friends of mine. I mean, that's just kind of, you know, how some of us grew up, and hopefully you grow up out of that, but some don't. And you know, they kind of stress you like, yo man, why don't you hook me up with such and such? And I'm like, nah dude, you know, that ain't cool, man. And they get mad at me because they figure, you know, I'm blocking and putting another notch in their belt. And I'm just like, yo, I'm not gonna hook you up with somebody unless I know like y'all both want the same thing or whatever. But anyway, it kind of happened. I kind of felt bad, and you know, I got to talk to my boy because, you know, he wasn't cool. His behavior wasn't cool, and you know, we're gonna need to talk about that. He's not gonna get it. I know that, but anyway, just is one of those things. Anyway, let's see. We're going to get into some letters here. So let's do that and see what's happening for the last podcast of 2017. It's been cool. I want to get a little more consistent with this in the new year. But and I thank everybody for tuning in and for all the encouragement. I've gotten letters, I've gotten phone calls from my man Tehran, cousin, you know, a lot of big supporters of the podcast. So I appreciate that. Anyway, again, if you need some dating or relationship advice, you can send your emails to dearjohnpodcast@gmail.com. dearjohnpodcast@gmail.com. So let's get into our first email here. Let me open that up. Okay, this one reads, Dear John, I've been with my boyfriend for 5 months. At which point should we stop using rubbers? Okay, got two thoughts about this. Two things that bothers me. I'm not sure which one is the most important, but the one that stands out right now is the fact that you call them rubbers. I didn't know folks were still calling them rubbers. Is this email from the 1970s? If it is, just make sure that you're not high on reefer when you take off your Jordache jeans, and you know, you make sure you use the rubber so you don't get VD. Man, wow, rubbers. Okay, cool. As far as your question goes, I really don't know when the two of you should have that conversation. I guess, I mean, if y'all gonna go without, it should definitely be after you both have been tested for everything. Get tested for gonorrhea, herpes, dandruff, whatever it is. You know, there may be genital dandruff. I don't know. If it is, find out if you got it. and before y'all start going out. And they didn't realize too that there are side effects of not using rubbers. It's called pregnancy, so make sure you're prepared to handle that if you decide to go without condoms or prophylactics or whatever the kids might be calling them these days. I have no idea. All right. Okay. Second email. Let's get to this one. All right. Second email reads, Dear John, is there a guideline for how long you should date someone before you have to buy them a Christmas present? Okay, looks like this one got in a little late after Christmas season. Christmas was just, in fact, it was yesterday. I'm recording this the day after Christmas. This is December 26th, so I was off by a day on this one. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to read that question again. Is there a guideline for how long you should date for someone before you have to buy them a Christmas present? And that's an absolutely yes, and there is a definite date. That date is October 31st. Anyone you meet after October 31st is not entitled to a Christmas gift. I'm letting you know that right now. I mean, you can go ahead and get them one, but they are not expected to buy one for you. So if you get one for them, you can't expect one back. And no one should be expecting a Christmas gift. It's too soon. Now, if you meet somebody, and again, you can do that if you meet them after the 31st, but if you meet somebody after Thanksgiving, then you are not allowed to buy anything for them, okay? Because number one, you're just messing up the dating game for everybody else. After Thanksgiving, you cannot buy a Christmas gift for them. Number one, it's not enough time. I mean, you barely know them. You don't know what they like. You don't know what you should give them. Give them about a Christmas card. That's about it. But you can't. What are you gonna get them? A Starbucks card? That's not good enough for anybody, really. Not in that nobody you seeing you dating. So there's no in between gifts. So you're just better off not buying anything. And what you do is you take that money that you're thinking about buying them a gift with. You put that money towards New Year's Eve. Okay, put that into your night on New Year's Eve when you'll be spending time with that person. And if you're not spending time with that person on New Year's Eve, you'll be looking for somebody else because it didn't work out with that person you didn't buy a gift for. And you'd be glad you didn't buy a Christmas gift, wasting money on them because you done found out they crazy. And you're just glad you found out in time. And it's New Year. It's all about 2018. And you ain't putting up with this dating bullshit no more because you don't need nobody anyway. If you meet somebody, after October 31st, do not buy them a Christmas present. It's too soon. But then, you are in time for Valentine's Day. Not quite sure what the cutoff date of that one is. Probably I have no idea when Valentine's Day is. I guess that's typical. When is it? February 16th or something like that. So I'm thinking if you meet somebody after, let's just say after January 15th, no Valentine's Day gift. I'm gonna, I don't know, think about that one. Anyway, let's see what else we got. Let's go to the third email here. Dear John, New Year's Eve is supposed to be the biggest party of the year. It also can be the most expensive. What is a reasonable amount of money to spend on a New Year's Eve date? That is a damn good question. A reasonable amount of money to spend on a New Year's Eve date. My answer to that is going to depend on your age. The younger you are, the more reasonable it is to spend a lot of money. Because it's a bigger deal when you're younger. You might be out just a few times. How many New Year's Eves do you have under your belt at that point? Also, you got more time to put money away for your savings and do more responsible stuff. If you I don't know, you 58 years old and you got $700 in your retirement account, you ain't trying to spend $500 on New Year's Eve. You in a mad rush trying to save whatever money you can get. But no, seriously, when you get older, you see New Year's Eve for the scam that it really is. And that's just what it is. It's a racket. It's a scam. Because number one, somebody's going to charge you $100, $150 to get into a joint that's going to cost you $20 again, if not free, the very next weekend. All right. And the only thing you getting for that $150 is a glass of sparkling wine. It's not champagne. It's sparkling wine. Trust me. And it probably costs about $5 a bottle wholesale. All right, you don't want to do that. Okay, I mean, you gotta consider that wherever you are in the nation, it's the coldest time of the year. Women gotta wear dresses or skirts or something like that. Maybe stand outside because of the crowd. That's just something older people just ain't doing. All right, we're not doing that. When you're older, you've seen enough New Year's Eves to know it's not a big deal. And we wondering, hell, wasn't it just the 4th of July anyway? How the hell is it New Year's Eve already? Younger folks, y'all more willing to stand outside in the crowds and being cold. Honestly, nobody over the age of 28 has ever got out on New. What I'm trying to say is nobody over the age of 28 has ever gone out on New Year's Eve and not felt a little disappointed, just a little bit. I mean, New Year's Eve was the shit when you were 21 because you didn't have to use your cousin's ID for the first time. You felt like you were grown, and you figured sometimes in life you got to spend $200 or $300 to celebrate the numbers changing on the calendar. And that's all it really is. Numbers changing on the calendar. What older folks gonna do, they're gonna get together with some friends, maybe some family, save some money, gonna go to Costco, maybe Sam's Club, and wait for the ball to drop, and probably complain while watching, New Year's Rockin' Eve about how the acts were much better when Dick Clark was alive and hosting the show. And, old folks are going to talk about how 2018 going to be their year because they can feel it. They're going to reclaim their time and get up at 4:30 a.m. every day so they can read the Bible before making a kale and raw organic sunflower smoothie before going to yoga and then heading to work from there. And they'll do that for about 4 days. And it'll just be the same old shit it usually is the rest of the year. Anyway, my advice is don't spend too much money for one night. But if you're younger, you really going to feel like you're missing out on something. So you might as well go ahead. Or you can just hang out with the old folks, drinking on some yak, playing spades, a bid whist. I don't know, just chilling with that special person, watching the Twilight Zone marathon. Waiting for the Talking Tina episode to come on, see if it's the one about them ugly like pig looking people who thought the pretty girl was ugly and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, like I said, y'all, I don't really have any plans for New Year's Eve right now, and that's cool with me. I might be that dude just sitting up in the cut watching Twilight Zone, sipping on some yak, and I might turn on New Year's Rockin' Eve and wondering why the musical acts now aren't like the ones that I used to watch. But anyway, let's see. I think that's going to be it. This will be a shorter episode, but I'd like to thank everybody who's taken the time since we started this thing in June. At least I started doing it in June. I don't think I got the first episode up until sometime in July. But anyway, thanks everybody. Thanks, of course. Big shout out to my man Les July, who provides the opening music and ending music, talking about bass. You can check Les out. I mean, he's everywhere. He's on Tidal. He's on Tidal. You can find him on iTunes and SoundCloud. CD Baby. Don't know how much longer. We're having a little dispute with CD Baby. They're pulling some shenanigans right now, but hope Les will get that cleared up. But they're trying to give me some issue with using his music. But anyway, again, look forward to doing more of these in 2018. Again, if you have any questions you want to send to me, and that's what kind of makes this thing go, I need your letters, dearjohnpodcast@gmail.com. In the meantime, y'all know y'all can see what kind of shenanigans I'm up to on Facebook. Of course, on Twitter, John B. Moody. That's my Twitter handle. And I do check out Instagram from time to time, JBMoody716. And again, whatever y'all do this New Year's Eve, y'all be safe. In 2018, may you, be safe and prosperous. It's been a very interesting year. Been a good year. And I'm just rambling now. I don't really want to sign out, but got enough letters. Actually, don't have any more to read. So I'm just going to sign off now and catch y'all in 2018. Y'all take care. And thanks again. I appreciate you.
Slapping, tapping, rapping. What's gonna happen? What's happening, Pops? Yeah. Let's July holding it down. Shout out all the lords of the low frequencies. What's good? Yeah. Real Chris Clark. Let's July. Some fly-ish. Try this on the side. Yeah. Bottoms. Big bag of bottoms. Bump. boys on the block. Okay.